back to my channel, and if you are new here, my name is Barbie. Today I'm doing my first Q&A. A while back I posted a video and I asked you guys if you were interested in seeing a Q&A and getting to know me a little bit better, and I got some questions and some feedback saying yes to go ahead and film a Q&A, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So I'll just introduce myself and give you some information about myself, what I do, how many kids I have, and all that kind of basic information. And maybe later on, if you guys want me to do another one, we can get more questions and then I can answer them for you guys. So for all of you who are new, my name is Barbie. I am 40 years old. I will be 41 in November. I have 2 biological kids and 2 stepkids. Actually, I have 2 living biological kids and then 1 son who passed away. He was a preemie, a 29-weeker. I had a really complicated pregnancy with him. And he passed away 2.5 months after he was born. He never came home from the hospital. 2 weeks after he was born, he contracted bacterial meningitis at the hospital, and he ended up passing at the hospital. Needless to say, that has been the worst experience of my life, the hardest thing I've ever had to go through in my life, losing a child. But with the grace of God, and I was able to keep living. I had a 4-year-old at the time when that happened. So, I pushed through. I put all my focus into Yaya, who is my daughter. At the time, 2 years after I had my son who passed away, I got pregnant again and I had Fernando, who is now 11 years old. He'll be 12 in November. So Yaya is 19. She turned 19 in July. Fernando is 11. He'll be 12 in November. My son who passed away, his name was Fabio, and he would have been 14 years old right now. I have 2 stepdaughters. One is 18 and her name is Natalie, and some of you guys know that she is in Canada right now. She was awarded a full ride for college for playing soccer, so she is in Canada. And Julie is 14. She'll be 15 in January. So yeah, between my husband and I, we have 4 kids in total. I am from Nicaragua. I was born in Nicaragua, but have lived most of my life here. We kind of, growing up, I went back and forth. My grandfather on my mom's side, he's from Nicaragua. My grandmother, she was from St. Louis, Missouri. They both met when my grandfather was going to school in St. Louis, and they got married, and he took her down to Nicaragua, and that's where they lived happily ever after. They both passed away already. So growing up, we kind of went back and forth from the States to Nicaragua. Once I became an adult and I got married, I knew I wanted to stay here. I didn't want to live in Nicaragua. So this is where I stayed here in the States. Now I grew up in Miami, Florida, lived in Miami, Florida. I did most of my elementary school in Miami, Florida. Then we lived in Nicaragua for a few years. I would say like most of my teen years, early teens in Nicaragua. And then I did some of my high school in Miami, Florida again. And then after that, I went to college for 2 years in Nicaragua. And after that, I got married at a very early age. I got married when I was 20, and then we came back to the States, and I lived in Mobile, Alabama for 3.5 years, then moved to Texas If you ask me where am I from, I would say in my heart, of course I'm from Nicaragua, but in my heart I'm from Texas, because that's where I've lived the majority of my adult life, adult, independent, out of my parents' home. That is where I lived. So I lived in Texas since 2003. Then I was in Missouri for a few months, but we came back to Texas and lived there up until I moved to California in 2015. So for like 12 years I lived in Texas. I absolutely love it, and I hope to go back to Texas one day. So now I live in California. I met my husband Diego when I was still living in Texas. And once things got more serious and we decided that this was gonna be a relationship it was working out for both of us, I moved down to California in 2015. We lived together for a few years, and so my husband and I have been married for a little over a year. We got married June 2nd, 2018. He is also from Nicaragua. And we met through a lot of common friends. He happens to be from the same town I am in Nicaragua. So we had a lot of common friends. So that's how we met. Now for work, I got a question, what do I do for work? So for the last 3 years now, I have been working medical group that manages people's benefits. So they manage insurance benefits it's a medical group. But I was working, they still have a physical therapy office. So I have been working, I was the lead front office coordinator for the clinic. And just doing, everything front office related. I was in charge of doing billing, of course, answering phones or any, anything with the patients that would come up, they would go first to me. And if it's something that was out of what I could do for them, then of course the clinic director was there, or the therapist, of course. So billing questions, medical records, pretty much everything in an office. Is my job. Now recently, about a month ago, we were told that the company decided to close down the clinic where I work. So since we are part of a bigger, we're part of a medical group, we don't have clinics. What they do is they manage people's benefits, HMO plans. So they offered me, our clinic is going to be closing at the end of October, but they have offered me to just transfer me over to the offices, to the main offices, where I will be working with the quality team, which is I will be dealing at least to start, what I have been told is I will be dealing with grievances and appeals that patients put through their health plans. So that's what I will be doing. It's a great company. I really like the company I work for. They really care for their employees, and it's a really good company to work for. So, and we live in California. Of course, I always mention that in my videos, but yes, we live in California, in Northern California. We live in the Bay Area. So we live very close to San Francisco. I would never live in the city. I just don't like the city at all. I like to go visit and just look at the places that every tourist comes and visits in San Francisco. That is okay, but I would never live in the city. It's just too hectic for me. I'm more of a suburban type of girl. I love the suburbs. I like being close to a big city, but not live in the big city. I like more quiet, neighborhoods. I would never be able to live in a big city. So that's where I live. Let's see, what else? Let me think if there's anything else I want to add. As you guys know, I do Weight Watchers, or I was on Weight Watchers. for a year now. September 26th will mark 1 year since I officially joined Weight Watchers. I wanted to lose 10 pounds when I joined Weight Watchers. Well, I have lost 17 pounds to date. I don't want to lose anymore. I don't need to lose anymore. I feel great where I am right now. I started at 140 pounds and right now I am at 123. I kind of fluctuate between 123, 125. I feel great, but now recently over the last 3 weeks, I have been playing around with calorie counting and I'm really enjoying that. Just because there's some foods that I love eating that are very high on points on Weight Watchers, but I can make them work in my calorie budget for the day, like nuts, for example. So, or some higher, I don't know, but nuts come to mind right now, like almonds and stuff like that. Or protein bars, they tend to be like really high on points, but if you look at the calories, you can make them work. And to my surprise, doing that, I've been eating more points but less calories, and that's where I was at 15 pounds loss, but I ended up losing 2 more pounds after I started calorie counting, and I'm feeling good. So I give Weight Watchers credit for teaching me how to make better choices, for teaching me how to portion control, portion sizes, and just choosing better foods overall, like more vegetables, more fruits, and all that. I exercise, but here lately I've kind of fallen off the wagon, but I'm trying to get back on it. But I do try to exercise at least 2 to 3 times a week. I've been going to the gym since February of this year. So my goal right now is just to try to tone a little bit and maybe build a little bit of muscle since I'm done losing weight. Now, my hobbies, let's see, well, YouTube is my current hobby. I like filming. I need to get a little bit more organized and put content out there more consistently, but I really enjoy filming and putting videos out there in the hopes of either inspiring somebody, whether it's through any recipe ideas, meal ideas, any tips on losing weight, living healthy, just anything like that. And my favorite video to film is the grocery hauls. They're so easy to film, and those are my favorite to watch. Actually, I love watching what other people buy. It just gives me ideas, or lets me know of new products out there that I haven't bought before and I might want to try. So yeah, YouTube is my current hobby. Also, let's see, my husband and I like to go out dancing. We don't go that often, but when we do go out and we do make it to either a party or we go out dancing, we have a great time. He's a really good dancer. He likes to, so we usually go out dancing salsa and merengue. I love dancing. So I think that is all I have. Let me see. So you guys know where I'm from. You guys know how old I am. You guys know how many kids I have. My hobbies, what I do for work. I'll know more. I can update on my next Q&A or on one of my videos how it goes, because I'm just now transitioning into my new position since the clinic is still open. So I'm kind of floating between the 2 offices as much as I can right now. So I still don't know a lot about my new role, but I am learning and I am happy to start this new role at work. And yeah, that's it. So I hope I answered enough that you guys can know me a little bit more. Comment down below. Let me know if you have any more questions. I'll write them down and I'll put them out in the next Q&A. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Give this video a big thumbs up if you like it, and chat with me in the comments down below, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye.